capitalism, you see, the whole theory of Marxism was that capitalism would collapse when there was no longer a large portion of the world in extreme poverty that could have raw materials extracted from it that the master class society, the capitalists, those who controlled the means of production, would then fabricate into finished material which would be sold back to the undeveloped world. And Marx may have been right, but the problem is he didn't recognize with the facility of capitalism to create new conditions for itself. So I see the space thing is the greatest lease on life for capitalism that there is. Without space, we're headed for a zero growth, steady state, highly regulated, highly a leveling, where those with much have less, those with less have more. When it's all over, nobody has as much as they feel they should have. And I had a flirtation with Marxism in my youth, but they've had now 50 years to get it together, and they have to produce something more appealing than what looks like an abandoned air base. I just can't, this barracks society, these gray-faced people with shopping bags, I can't handle that. And, of course, capitalism and America is horrible. Of course, transsexual ballet troupes hawking Coca-Cola is a different approach to things. Big civilizations are messy. Every big civilization has had things in it which most people probably thought was a pain in the neck. The whole nature of big civilizations is tolerance, so that we can have anarchists, all kinds of sexual politics, all kinds of art movements. It's a messy business. Anybody who doesn't want a messy society is some kind of crypto-fascist of some sort. So does that answer the thing about... A lot of people don't like the space thing. It is the most resistant idea because, first of all, it's associated with the military-industrial complex and all these crew-cutted types, and the New Age, the glorification of the earth and the wish to nurture the earth and all these things. But I just think that the people who are into those things have not really seriously taken a look at the issues. We can't have a garden planet with the billions of people that we have. People who wanted a steady state garden planet should have gotten their political program in place around 1600. That was probably about the last moment where that ever stood a chance. We have to find solutions. All this zero growth, steady state thing, even if we achieve zero growth, still the aspirations of the third world are so great that there isn't enough glass, plastic, and heavy metal in the planet to give everyone on Earth the standard of living of the American middle class. So a way has to be found out. I think that if you are an Earth nurturer, if you identify with that, you should be a fanatical supporter of space colonization, because we have to get the toxic aspects of humanness off this planet. A reasonable goal would be that by 2050 no manufacturing be allowed on the surface. Let's just keep the surface as a residential area and do all this other stuff somewhere else. It's like the relationship of a child come full term to its mother. A birth is taking place. There's no question about it. We are going to become this star-dwelling angel. And the earth is everything. It formed us. We arose here. But nevertheless, you can't stay in the cradle forever. And we have to move out. We have to accept that we're going to change. This is the major thing, We need to find out what humanness is in essence, so that we can hang on to it. Because everything is going to become possible to change. I mean, we can already change our sex, change our mind. It won't be long before you can change your body. Are we monkeys? How well does the monkey overcoat fit the angel mind? Do we want to shed it? Once we understand DNA, we will be free to design ourselves. What do we want to be? The mushroom may once have been a monkey that chose then a different evolutionary strategy and designed itself into itself. You know, we will eventually acquire the ability to become what we dream of being. And so we need really to explore our dreams because they're the maps of our future. I think this has always been true. You know, the dream is the carrot that's leading history forward, and now we add to that the psychedelic experience, which is like the waking dream. It's like the dream emerging into the light of consciousness for inspection. It means now that we must be very near the goal. The veils are being cast aside at a greater and greater rate. And the psychedelic state anticipates this. The whole thing, Merciliade says somewhere, I think in Myths, Dreams, and Mysteries, he's talking about magical flight in shamanism and in the same motif in yoga. And he says something like, whatever we may think of the objectivity of these phenomena, the image of self-transcendent flight speaks volumes about the ontology of the human soul, meaning we want to fly. That's what we want to do. And some people have suggested that history is the story of the search for powered flight. You know, first one thing and then another, because we always understood that somehow to fly meant to conquer space, and to fly meant finally to leave the planet.